Ciao everyone, Mike here from Hardcore Italians, and we're going to go over the Italian-American news of the week. Andiamo, let's get it. So before we get into the news, as you could tell, I've been telling you guys how we've been changing the background and getting things going. Well, we finally got it pretty close to how we wanted it. I got some sentimental stuff going on too, but I just wanted to say before getting into this YouTube video that do not kill me over seeing Ritz crackers in the background here. If you haven't seen, we were just on WGN News on Channel 9 in Chicago, and it's really funny. You got to check it out. Basically, Pat Tomasulo is Italian, and he came and visited, but he tasked the girl who does Around Town, it's basically her segment. He tasked her with bringing food and things here like that because, as an Italian, you can't show up empty-handed. So he told Anna that she needs to bring something to the warehouse. So she did a lot of good stuff. She got some nice Italian cookies and an antipasto tray and all this stuff, but she didn't know. I guess she didn't know what to eat the meat and cheeses with for the tray. So she ended up getting Ritz crackers, and it was just hilarious. If you watch WGN, you'll laugh your ass off because they literally made a huge joke about it. Pat was giving her some crap, obviously, and they literally wrote, I'm so sorry on here, and you'll never have me back, and things like that. So it's funny. So a little sentimental value. I wanted to remember it. It was a fun time, and they did a nice thing, giving us some publicity at the warehouse and showing it off. But please check it out. It's awesome. You could see the back end of our warehouse a little bit, see the team, see orders going out. It was really cool and a good experience. So I wanted to talk about that. Also, guys, we got some more sentimental things. Shopify sent us this nice plaque here for getting 100,000 orders. So it was December 16th that it hit, but it takes a while to get the plaque because they engrave your name and things like that. So something else cool that we got back here. And yeah, let us know what you think of the background stuff. I kind of want to change out this pillow for maybe something else. I had some friends gift us this stuff. Some of these people sponsored us, Toronto sponsored our bocce tournament one year. This is our homemade wine. This is just golf balls that we that we sell right now that we're super proud of. So if you guys think anything cool or sentimental that I could put here, oh yeah, this belt is awesome. It's my favorite thing. We got an award from the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. So I've been trying to put some sentimental things in the back here, which I'm not probably going to talk about too much. So if you're listening, if you're one of the earlier listeners on, this YouTube news thing, then I guess you'll have a little bit of inside knowledge. So I really appreciate the support, and especially the early support. We've kind of been doing news now for, I don't know, maybe only a couple months. I think there's only 4 or 5 episodes of just a podcast dedicated to news only. So we're still going to do some more podcasts involving people and this and that, but with the new setup, we're just getting accustomed to things. It's super easy for me to bang out kind of these news articles compared to, when you work with influencers and things like that, setting up schedules with them, and then it's on Zoom, and you know what I mean? It kind of incorporates a lot, whereas, the setup is at the warehouse here that we have, and I could just kind of keep rolling with videos as I have time. So schedule's been super busy lately. We have a bunch of Italian festivals we do in the summer. It's getting crazy, but enough about us. Let me get into these articles here. The first article we have is about Alderwoman Rodriguez Sanchez, who put a pretty insensitive tweet about Chicago and Chicago Italians specifically, and now there's organizations in Chicago that are calling for her removal as Alderwoman. They want her to resign. So we work hand in hand with this organization, actually, so we know 100% where they're coming from. But before getting into that, let me get into what happened. So if you haven't heard, Rosanna Rodriguez Sanchez, the Alderwoman of Chicago's 33rd Ward, has recently received criticism for her poll she put out on Twitter asking, how do we honor Italians in Chicago? So if you're not from Chicago, there's organizations out here that really, really, really care about keeping traditions, culture, and heritage alive. It's a very important thing for the city. They're actively working with politicians to try to make Italian heritage more important and more just to continue Italian heritage and make it more a part of the city, because we help build this city. It's extremely important, and for history especially. So what was so controversial about her tweet is she kind of blatantly just mocks Italians by putting the most stereotypical things ever in in her poll. So basically, she kind of said an Italian ice monument as the number one pick. And it's just kind of what's so crazy about these kind of things is, a lot of Italians feel, even us, that Italian heritage is somehow okay to mock while other ethnicities and heritages aren't. So, for example, and people are even speaking in this in her replies because this kind of sparked a lot of other stereotypical stuff and racist stuff in her replies because she said, write other in the comments, and people trying to be funny in the comments are writing like all these other stereotypical ways to honor Italian heritage in Chicago. It's just not right. People really care about their heritage, and people are really trying to like find ways to honor Italians. When it's Italian Heritage Month, it's not like you go on Netflix and they're saying, oh, let's honor Italian heritage. Like, we kind of get a lot of stereotypical stuff thrown at us, and nobody really honors the Italian American values that really help build the city and the country, and the important ones. There's a lot of stuff like traditions and, just our values as far as working hard, and you know what I mean? We help build cities, and there's just so much to honor and so much heritage that people don't know about it, that just kind of gets thrown into, stereotypes that it's kind of upsetting. So basically, a lot of people thankfully stood up for Italians, and we'll pop up some of the tweets, but some people are saying, are you mocking Italians? Would it be okay to put a taco monument joke? Maybe we should all lighten up and have at it, but let's know if this field is open. So here's another one. Italian ice monument is an effing slap in the face to all Italian Americans. What's wrong with you? Italian Americans built this city, and you propose honoring them with a statue of sugar and ice. And there's just a lot of people upset about it. Here's another comment we highlighted. Wow, I am truly shocked and saddened at such a racist post towards Italian Americans. My father, first generation, was treated terribly when he came here in 1956. Then to see a government official mock a whole race of good, hardworking people, disgusting and sad. So a lot of people are upset about it, and this is coming from a government official. People look up to these people in politics. Like, they should be the leaders of deciding what's right and what's wrong. And coming from a government official, it's definitely a big deal. So this was all echoed by Ron Onesti, who's in charge of the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans, which is based in Chicago out here, and he's been fighting the mayor for years now about the Columbus statue and everything like this. And he said they basically blatantly mocked our ethnic group, and it was tasteless, classless, harmful, and racist, no doubt about it. We can't believe a leader of our city council, doesn't matter what party or what platform she's from, who can't believe she would perpetuate this. So here's the crazy part. Rather than Sanchez apologizing, because there's clearly a ton of people upset about this, rather than her apologizing, she actually defended it by saying that people were spinning her lighthearted tweet into a narrative of disrespect. And she added she deeply respects Italians, Italian American history, and their role in building the city amid discrimination faced by immigrant and minority communities. So I don't know. Kind of what she said is contradicting. If she's saying that she respects Italian heritage, and why is she mocking it with a post like this? Just doesn't make any sense. And so people are really taking it seriously. They want her removed as Alderwoman of the city. Let us know what you think in the comments. We're very curious to hear your opinion. Is it lighthearted? Is it not lighthearted? Would it be okay to be lighthearted if it was okay towards other ethnicities? Let us know what you guys think. We definitely want your opinion, and drop a comment below. President Joe Biden has selected Admiral Lisa Franchetti to assume the top position of the U.S. Navy. If confirmed, she will etch her name as the first woman to hold this esteemed position with the Navy and become the inaugural female appointee to the Joint Chief of Staff. So she would be not only the first woman, but an Italian-American woman to assume this role, which is really cool. Franchetti's impressive career spans back to 1985 when she began her journey in the armed forces. Throughout her tenure, she has undertaken significant roles such as Commander of the U.S. Naval Forces Korea, Deputy Chief of the Naval Operations for Warfighting Development, and Direct for Strategy, Plans, and Policy of Joint Staff. Basil M. Russo, the National President of Italian Sons and Daughters of America, the ISDA, expressed unequivocal support of Admiral Franchetti, applauding her incredible achievements. The ISDA, which has been shining the spotlight on distinguished women of Italian descent, recognizes the indispensable role of such individuals in shaping the Italian-American identity through tenacity, devotion, and brilliance. So although she was selected, they're still waiting for the official confirmation process of her nomination to be admiral, and it makes a monumental step forward, breaking barriers and inspiring generations to come. So pay attention to her career, and we'll see how she does with the Navy. In other news, pay attention to Italy's team for the Women's World Cup soccer. They just won their most recent game. In a hard-fought match, striker Cristina Girelli emerged as the hero for Italy, heading in the decisive goal in the 87th minute to secure a 1-0 victory against Argentina in their Women's World Cup opener. This game was huge because it sets the tone for Italy in the World Cup for women. They seem to have a good team this year. There's a few other girls on the team that have some skills, and Argentina is usually pretty tough in soccer. So the fact that they won was pretty good. It's also worth noting that they credit the defense for winning the game. It was a hard-fought defensive battle. 1-0. So pay attention. They got really good defense this year. So we'll see. We're looking forward to watching Italy. They play Sweden next on Saturday. Keep an eye on their team, and we wish them nothing but the best. Rome has plans to build a new science museum that's cool and involves nature and all this stuff. So this concept called the Science Forest was actually a winning design in a competition. A Rome-based architectural firm, ADAT Studio, held the competition, and this was the official winner. There's a few pictures of the design and how it's supposed to look. It's called the Science Forest, and it incorporates nature and suspended spaces linked by grass and walkways. This project is going to be 75 million euros and will begin in 2025, with the museum set to be inaugurated in 2027. So we'll post updates as they start building the museum. It's really cool looking, and we're all really excited about it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please drop a like on this video. It really helps us with the YouTube algorithm. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more Italian-American news videos and just videos in general. And be sure to drop a comment. Give us your opinions on all these articles. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you on next week's episode.